Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to film a quick little update video for you guys now that I'm all moved and settled into the new place, just about what's going to happen on the channel going forward in the future, just so I'm not rambling on about all this sort of stuff in the next few videos that will be coming out this week and the next few days. As I imagine at least 90% of you are here for The Legend of Korra. At this point, that will be staying 3 days a week, all the way up until I finish the show. We're currently halfway through season 3. Episode 8 of season 3 will be dropping tomorrow, along with episodes 9 and 10 on Patreon, with episode 9 going up on YouTube on Wednesday and episode 10 on Friday. And until the end of the season, Patreon will be at least 2 episodes ahead of YouTube for The Legend of Korra, and I will have uncut watch-along versions of all of my Legend of Korra reactions available on Patreon as well. So starting from the 9th of November, next weekend, when Arcane Season 2 drops, things are going to look slightly different for Hunter x Hunter on the channel. For those 3 weeks, I will be dropping Hunter x Hunter down to 2 videos per week. But for those 3 weeks, those 2 videos will have 2 episodes in them to make up for the fact that there's one less day. Now that will only be for the 3 weeks that Arcane Season 2 is airing. So each week you'll get 3 episodes of The Legend of Korra, 3 episodes of Arcane, and 2 videos with 2 episodes each of Hunter x Hunter. It's gonna be a lot, especially considering the Arcane episodes are gonna be long, plus doing 2 episodes per video of Hunter x Hunter, but I'm gonna make it work because I really wanna start pumping out a lot of content on this channel and really moving forward. But after those 3 weeks, I will be going back to just 3 episodes, 3 videos a week for Hunter x Hunter, hopefully all the way until the end of the show. And after that, I will have room for another show on the channel. I'm leaning towards a newer show. I like having at least one newer show on the channel. I'm thinking either Kaiju number 8 or Frieren. I've heard great things about both potential anime of the year stuff for Frieren. Frieren on paper is probably not something I would go out of my way to look at, but it sounds like something I would be really interested. So let me know your thoughts on that. Kaiju number 8 seems a little bit more up my alley. Again, I haven't gravitated towards it, but I've been hearing great things about it. It seems like it has a cool concept. And the other option would be Chainsaw Man. I've seen episode 1 way back when it first aired. I've seen nothing else about the show. If people want to see it, I'd love to do it because once again, I've heard great things about it. Now, here's what I'm looking at going forward. I really want to get Hunter x Hunter done as quickly as possible. I love the show and I know I'm about to witness some of the best stuff in Hunter x Hunter, but I also want to keep the channel moving forward and I want to watch Haikyuu. Again, I've only heard fantastic things about Haikyuu. It's going to be a different style being a sport anime. I love my sport, but that's what I'm going to get into after Hunter x Hunter. So there might be a world where I speed up Hunter x Hunter. At the very least, hopefully I can get Hunter x Hunter finished somewhat quickly on Patreon, and then I can start Haikyuu on Patreon. But we'll see about all that. I'm probably 95% locked in on Haikyuu being the next show after Hunter x Hunter. And speaking of next shows, all you Legend of Korra watchers, what do you guys want to see next? Now, I will be honest, I will struggle to watch a show that I'm not interested in. So if it comes down to it, and a lot of people want to see a certain show, and I'm not particularly interested in it, I'm probably not going to watch it because it might be hard for me to stay invested or interested in it and have good discussions. And at the end of the day, I want to be making good content. I don't want to be just making content and watching shows for the sake of watching them just because people want to do it. Cowboy Bebop, I think, is a great example. It's what a lot of people wanted me to watch after Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I just couldn't get into it. I really tried. I can see why people like it. I know it's a classic. It's just not necessarily for me. Maybe down the track I'll finish it because I hate the idea of having started something and not finishing it. But all you Legend of Korra watchers, start leaving suggestions. I've had lots of suggestions for things like Mob Psycho 100. That's something I'm pretty sure I would enjoy. But I do want to be doing 3 shows on the channel going forward. I think I'm in a really good rhythm now with how I edit and how I record everything, so I can be a lot more efficient. So going forward, the schedule on the channel is going to look something like The Legend of Korra 3 days a week, or whatever show replaces Legend of Korra once I finish it. And of course, I'll be doing the Avatar Netflix live action after I finish The Legend of Korra. So that's going to happen straight after The Legend of Korra. That will only take a few weeks because it's only, I think, 8 or 9 episodes. And then there'll be 3 days of Hunter x Hunter and then Haikyuu once I've done that. And then that 7th day plus 2 other days during the week, there will be another show. So 2 days a week, you'll get 2 videos per day. That might be something like a Wednesday or a Sunday, you know, just to kind of spread things out. But that is where I would love the channel to be at. And of course, I have the Patreon as well. I have struggled these last 6 or so months staying up to date with Patreon. A lot of that has to do with where I was living and my circumstances at the time, especially once I got really close to the move and then it kept getting delayed. I just needed to get into this new house before I could feel like I could really pump things out and stay consistent. But my aim is to get Patreon at least a week ahead of YouTube. So maybe 2 or 3 episodes per series ahead. I think that's very feasible. I had 2 weeks in my head a little bit earlier on in the year, but that didn't seem really achievable. And I don't want it to just be 1 episode ahead, you know, because I want to make sure if people are paying for a Patreon membership that they're actually getting something worthwhile. So a week's early access to the YouTube videos plus uncut watch-along versions that I'm doing for Korra right now. I've done a few for Hunter x Hunter, but I know a lot of people aren't really on Patreon for Hunter x Hunter, so I stopped doing that at the same time. But going forward, there'll be uncut watch-alongs for Haikyuu, all of the Avatar live action on Netflix. I want to do the One Piece live action as well, and if that gets a lot of traction, I might move into One Piece as well, which is a huge commitment, but we'll see. But all the shows in the future will all have uncut watch-along versions available on Patreon, as well as the early access videos as well. I'd love to do more things on Patreon. I flirted with the idea of doing bloopers. I do get some pretty good bloopers, especially in videos like this, like intros, outros, where I'm just talking, but we'll see about all that. And movies as well. I've mentioned movies. They are a pretty big time commitment, not just to watch, but really to edit as well. I'm looking at Suzumi. I love those kinds of movies. I've seen Your Name and Weathering with You and The Silent Voice. I loved all of those, so I'm really excited to watch Suzumi. Maybe some of the My Hero Academia movies as well, but we'll see what happens. These next few weeks are really going to be me really grinding and getting a lot of content recorded and edited up on YouTube, up on Patreon to really get ahead, and then we can see where we're going in the future. Like, this is what I want to be doing. Like, I want to be doing this full time, and not just YouTube. I would love to be streaming on Twitch as well. I do have a gaming channel on YouTube. That was actually the first thing I started doing on YouTube before I switched to anime reactions on this channel. But I would love to be able to split my time between streaming on Twitch and doing YouTube. That would be an absolute dream lifestyle for me for the next maybe 5 or 6 years at least. And that's going to be my #1 goal going into the rest of this year and next year. And I really want to make it happen. And I really feel like I can. And a lot of that is thanks to you guys, like supporting the channel and proving to me that this is something that I can do and that people enjoy it. And I'm so appreciative of that. Even though the channel isn't necessarily big right now, for it to be where it is right now, it is incredibly surreal to me and not something I ever thought was possible like 2 years ago. So I just wanted to get all of that out there now that I've had a little break, moved into the new house. It's like a fresh start sort of thing. So when I go into the next episodes of The Legend of Korra and Hunter x Hunter this week, I can just go straight into the episodes. I've said everything I needed to say here and we can just keep moving forward. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, Legend of Korra watchers, please leave your suggestions for other shows down below, and Hunter x Hunter watchers as well. I am pretty locked in on Haikyuu replacing Hunter x Hunter once I'm done for it, but I'm always open to suggestions. And anything else you'd like to see on the channel, maybe I could do some more OP and ending reactions as well. I do love doing those and they seem to get a lot of views. People like that. But yeah, please leave all your suggestions and feedback down below. Like I say at the end of every video, it's always appreciated. And with all that being said, we'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 8 of season 3 of The Legend of Korra.